This is USVI News, your Virgin Islands connection.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for USVI News. I'm Emily Matson. In a St. Croix neighborhood, several government agencies are literally cleaning up in order to clean up crime. The Virgin Islands Police Department led a cleanup operation at the John F. Kennedy Terrace housing community this week. The cleanup was a joint effort between the VIPD and several other local government agencies. And the operation came about because the VIPD was receiving lots of reports and complaints from area residents of illegal activities, loitering, gunshots being fired, and animal neglect as well. So they all showed up, from Waste Management, the Department of Public Works, the St. Croix Animal Shelter, and Animal Enforcement. They cleaned up the Kennedy Terrace and removed neglected animals as well. St. Croix's police chief says this will be an ongoing initiative. In places with heavy loitering or illegal activity, they'll head on in to clean it up and create visibility in those neighborhoods. A St. Thomas man is charged with a violent kidnapping. 23-year-old Shamar Lewis of Lindbergh Bay is facing charges including kidnapping, domestic violence, and assault. Officers with the domestic violence unit arrested him on Wednesday. VIPD says on Tuesday around 10:45 a.m., he showed up to his ex's house and forced her from the home at gunpoint. During the abduction, police say Lewis assaulted the victim with a firearm, then returned her to her home. Lewis is currently in prison without bail. Meantime, President Biden has laid out his administration's strategy to tackle rising crime rates across the country on his visit to NYPD headquarters in New York on Thursday. The president emphasized both increased funding for law enforcement and aggressive enforcement of gun safety laws. It marks his highest profile effort to date to model the Democrats' election year balancing act of supporting law enforcement while also insisting on new police accountability. More than 100 people attended the Gun Violence Strategies Partnership meeting, where the president laid out the administration's comprehensive strategy to combat gun crime, which includes money for cities and states to use to put more cops on the streets and money to invest in community violence prevention and intervention programs, along with stepping up federal law enforcement efforts against illegal gun traffickers.
The answer is not to abandon our streets. That's not the answer. The answer is to come together, the police and communities, building trust and making us all safer. The answer is not to defund the police. It's to give you the tools, the training, the funding to be partners, to be protectors, and community needs you and know the community.
The USVI has not one, but 2 Grammy nominations this year. For Best Reggae Album, Pressure Buspipe is nominated for his album Heights of Greatness. And in the Best Classical Solo Vocal category, Laura Strickling of St. Thomas is nominated. Our USVI News' Ali Bornvanek is getting the details from these incredibly talented artists, starting first with Laura Strickling.
I'm here with Laura Strickling, who has been nominated for a Grammy. Laura, how excited are you?
I was so shocked. Someone texted me that I had been nominated and I almost drove my car off of Mothley Hill. Like, it was almost an accident. I just could not believe it.
Girl, we are so pumped. I know you're nominated for a Grammy. Also, Pressure Buspipe is also nominated for a Grammy. What is next? The Grammys are coming up in about a couple months here, right?
They were supposed to be 2 days ago, in fact, but because of COVID, they got delayed. So April 3rd is now the official date, and instead of Los Angeles, it's going to be in Las Vegas. And I'm so excited to go.
Let's circle back a little to this incredible work that you have produced, because you said that you were just so shocked that you were nominated. How much work and effort just went into this project?
I started the CD in 2017, and we all know what happened in 2017. I got half of the CD made, and then the hurricanes hit, and I didn't know if I was ever going to finish the CD because all of a sudden, you know, everything was stressful. There wasn't money, there wasn't time, and it wasn't until 2019 that I actually got back in the studio, finished the CD, and then didn't have time to, I was working so much as a singer and on the road all the time, I didn't have time to actually get to the production production side of the CD until COVID hit. And then I was home. I was here on St. Thomas, just sitting here, not able to travel for work. And I had time to finish that project, take it across the finish line. So it was released in November 2020 and then nominated for a Grammy in November of 2021.
Let's circle back to the Grammys. How excited are you? Because is this your first time going?
This is my first time going, and I wasn't even sure I'd get to go because last year the Grammys were on Zoom, and I have several friends who had to do, their Grammy acceptance speeches over Zoom last year, which must have been super disappointing for them. And so I'm really excited that they've been able to reschedule them despite the pandemic. And my mom is actually going to make my gown for the red carpet because she used to do that professionally. And so I was looking at gowns online, kind of trying to decide what to wear, and I was like, no, my mom has to make this. It's super special. So she's really good at it, and it's going to be really beautiful.
Laura, is there anything else that you'd like to share? Anyone who you'd like to thank for this incredible nomination?
I first of all would like to thank the people who actually functionally helped make the CD. Obviously the pianist is my partner in crime. It wouldn't exist without her. Her name is Joy Schreier. And the recording crew at a studio in Virginia called Sono Luminous Studios, they actually did the recording. And then my label is called Yarlung Records, and they're based in LA, and they're the ones who took it on during the pandemic and made it all come to life.
Awesome. Well, we will be cheering you on here in the territory. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Yes, congratulations indeed, Laura. What a beautiful voice she has. Thank you, Allie, for bringing us her story. And we are still seeing historically high prices for both new and used cars this year. And experts predict those prices could stick around for much of 2022. Here's a look at what's driving up the cost and when buyers may be able to catch a break.
A shortage of parts, limited production, and surging demand for both new and used cars. It's all driving consumers to pay sky-high prices for those few cars that dealerships have available.
Driving that is some of the shift toward trucks and SUVs and higher contented vehicles. But at the same time, because of this lack of inventory, dealers are not required to discount at all.
According to J.D. Power, the average transaction price for a new car was over $45,000 last December. That's up 29% from 2019. And according to Edmunds, prices for used cars ended the year with an average price of nearly $30,000. That's up 29% from a year earlier.
If you were trying to find a reasonably priced used car, because the car you have is just conked out, it's going to be much difficult.
So when can buyers catch a break? Experts say availability could start to increase as production starts to come back online and the supply of car parts improves.
It's not just microchips that we're seeing shortages of. We're seeing resin used in paint, we're seeing tire shortages, and even wiring harnesses, and on and on.
J.D. Power forecasts the average wholesale price of used cars could fall about 9% from the fourth quarter of 2021 to the fourth quarter of this year. But that won't get prices back to where they were before the pandemic.
In 2023, we'll expect prices to start to come down, but I don't expect to see a return to the old days.
J.D. Power says they've seen a rapid shift in the kind of vehicles consumers are buying, with more looking at more expensive luxury cars, trucks, SUVs, and electric vehicles as well. Sticking with consumer news, you see those QR codes in businesses and online. It's an easy way to get information or discount. But security experts say think twice before scanning one with your smart device. Reporter Jesse Jones explains why.
QR codes are those black and white boxes you shoot, your phone interprets, and then everything from menus to deals pops right up on your device via the internet. Companies share them on social media and on signs and flyers.
But they're everywhere.
Yeah, and they're cool technology, and that means they're subject to abuse, like all the cool technologies, right?
Tim Helming, a computer security expert from the company Domain Tools, says scammers are now in the game, turning those codes into your misery.
It could be that they are making a fraudulent payment. It could be that they are downloading malware onto your phone.
The other issue at play is that a person can check a web address to see if it's legit. A QR code doesn't give consumers that chance.
You have fewer ways to validate what it is that you're about to get to than you do if it's an actual link.
The Better Business Bureau scam tracker shows one person lost $65,000 in a con that used QR codes. And they're easy to get. I found a number of sites that offer QR codes for free. Just enter the website you want the code to send people to, and you're good to go. So Tim says consumers need to consider the source before pointing and clicking.
If I saw a QR code that was slapped up on a telephone pole or a side of a building or something like that, I don't care how tempting the offer sounds, I am running away from that thing.
Scammers often send QR codes and emails that appear to be from legitimate companies, so experts say don't use it unless you can verify the source. There are scanner apps available that include extra security, which can help make sure the code you are seeing is the real deal.